Okay, so let's jump right in, and I'll be there to give some technical data as well in case you've missed out on some technical data. This is the hybrid, so you can hear the 2.5 liter Atkinson gasoline engine kick in, turn on. From the outside, you can definitely hear that. From the inside, you'll be surprised. I'm surprised. It is loud from the outside, but from the inside, it's not that loud at all. The sound deadening on this is pretty darn decent. Okay, so how did you find the braking on this?
Yeah, it goes very well. I brake too hard. I need to adjust the way that I drive and brake. So
yeah, it does take some getting used to because it is a very sensitive pedal. You touch it just a little and the brakes kick in. And one small trick, actually, I'll show you. If you want to brake less, just hit the L button here. And a lot of the braking, you won't have to touch the brake, or very little, I should say, because the regenerative braking is going to work harder and charge the battery more. And you'll actually see that on the green arrow back there on the dash. The green arrow is going to go further down, saying it's charging even more so. And how do you find just general, like, you know, acceleration and driving around in town?
Yeah, it goes very well. We see that it's a brand new car. It goes. I just hit the pedal a little and it goes very well.
It's got oomph. You like the acceleration?
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like a slow, boring hybrid?
No, not at all. For an hybrid, it's perfect. I wasn't expected that much from it, so it's a good surprise.
Marie is on a bit of an incline, and we're going to test out the front wheel drive's tires and capability of going up a hill when we're at a complete standstill. You can hear the gasoline engine kicking in. And what if you give it a little gas? So no issues with traction. Now, during another snowstorm just yesterday in another video, I actually tried it at around the 16-minute mark in the video. I actually did it on a much steeper hill and no issues at all. So the front wheel drive with good winter tires will get you around. So it looks like my promise to Marie that this would do the trick is spot on. So it looks like I'm going to be okay. What do you think?
Yeah, it's like a normal gas car for me, so it goes as good.
Yeah, originally Marie-Pierre really wanted an all-wheel drive, and I talked her into well, she really wanted an all-wheel drive but didn't like the payments plus the gas. So the calculation for the hybrid front-wheel drive seemed to be the only way she'd get a Maverick, so I did promise her that this would drive just fine in the snow. And well, here we've got it. If that ain't snow, I don't know what is. Okay, so now we're kind of up, not quite in the mountains, but somewhere in between in the mountains and being more on the ground. The roads are a lot better today. We're going to go where there's some bad roads because we really want to give you a good impression of what this vehicle can do. Can the front wheel drive hybrid really handle the snow? But first, let's, you know, debunk something that has been bothering me. We're going to be talking about really two things that have been bothering me. People saying that the interior is awful and that the sound system is awful. I think those are exaggerations in order to get views, but what do you think, Marie?
For the sound system, John and I agree that it's a little bit better than the Broncos, so that's a good aspect for me. But the interior, I need to be honest with you. That kind of plastic, I found it that it looks like an old plastic mug from the 90s, if you know what I mean. So I didn't like that color. I love that they put two colors, but not that one. Maybe it's not the good choice.
Okay, maybe the color does look a little bit like an 80s cooler.
Yeah, but it's fun to have a different texture, but I would choose something else than that look.
Fair enough. So we're up in the mountains now, giving you an honest opinion on, you know, everything we can. And the sound system, I like the sound system in the XLT. It is better than both our Broncos. So we've got the Outer Banks with high package, and we've got the Badlands with, well, no package, not even heated seats, but that's sort of meant to be more of our off-road rig once we can get into the trails. But you know, the suspension on this, I find it's good. It does make some noise, but it can handle 1,500 pounds. You know, we've been driving on some very bumpy roads, and hopefully, you know, we still have viewers watching despite the bit of camera shake, but these roads are extremely bumpy. How do you feel the suspension goes?
It goes very well because the ride is smooth. I really enjoy the ride. The feeling is that's comfortable, and the seats are so comfortable. I'm surprised. I really love that. I could stay there for long hours road, and I'll be fine. So I really love the seats.
Yeah, I agree. I really enjoy the seats as well. I was playing around with the vehicle yesterday, and I was in the seats for about 40 minutes, and I do have back problems, and I had no issues whatsoever. And they're actually, the seats are great at absorbing as well, you know, helping your back not feel the roads. And this is actually one of the smoothest roads we've been on, surprisingly, and it's done a great job. So the interior, okay, maybe a few points less for the thermos color. The mug, 80s plastic mug or cooler color, but we do both really like the two color. Loving the two color, and of course you can always get an XL, which is like all black and gray. But we really like, you know, at first both Marie and I really weren't sure about the orange accents when we saw it online, but I know now that I'm in it, I love the orange accents. It you know, hits it off well with the blue. What do you think?
On the seat, I like the orange on the seat, the two colors and the orange, but for that I guess it's too flashy for me. If they just do the contour like the seats with the orange color, maybe it will be greater than that, but it's not that bad.
And it's always something that can be covered up, you know. You can I love to paint stuff,
and when
with
you will
spray
put
can.
stuff in it, you won't see it anymore that much.
Yeah, once my stuff goes in it, you're only gonna see that orange outline on the side, so you'll get what you want, I guess. That we've just absolutely loved about our Broncos is that they turn on a 10 cent or a 25 cent quarter. They turn amazingly. So in city or having to turn around anywhere, it's just so unbelievably easy. So let's just test it out for the Maverick.
Oh, less better than the Bronco.
I'm surprised it turns less sharp than the Bronco. I think this is actually both a surprise for us. The Bronco has an unbeatable turning radius. I don't know if any vehicle on the market can beat the turning radius on the Bronco. And that, you know, wasn't horrible, but it's just not quite as good.
It's not horrible. I guess it's just the regular way of each car are turning, but I was thinking because it's a small truck that it will turn more than that, but
so
it's not that bad.
with my 2011 FX4 3.5 liter EcoBoost with almost 300,000 kilometers with that F-150, this you know, Maverick did it in one turn. How many maneuvers do you think you would have?
Maybe two to three times, maybe.
Yeah, so a lot easier. In this, we just had to put it in reverse once, and I agree. The F-150, I think we've been playing the back and forward and reverse transmission switch or swap several times before getting out of there.
It's not that bad because we were almost there, so we just missed a little space to do it once for the first time.
So now I'm going to have Marie illustrate to us what happens when you let go of the gas pedal. Not quite yet, because I do want to make sure we're in L. So now that L, you see it?
With brakes all alone.
Yeah.
I don't touch the pedal right now.
So let's try that again.
Yeah.
So we're in low mode, and Marie's going to show us what happens with that needle.
Okay. I'm not touching it.
See that needle go really low, and that's because in low mode you're charging up. The regenerative braking is working to charge even more your battery than usual, and it does help with braking. One thing I'd worry about though is if you're always driving in low, your brakes might not actually get used enough. So sometimes try to deliberately, you know, use your brakes more so that especially in weather conditions like this, your brakes don't rust up and your discs don't need changing. Tell us, Marie, about the fuel economy so far.
Yeah, it's the first time that I drive an hybrid like that. So I see it's only 4.3 liter per kilometers.
Yeah, it's 4.3. It was at 4.3 liters per 100 kilometers, but now we're sitting here idling, and Ford system doesn't cheat. It actually continues to calculate your fuel consumption when you're idling. And because it's not really cold out, but it is just a little bit below freezing, that gasoline engine is turning on in order to feed the demand for heat, our need for heat. And you can hear the engine just turned back off again, because likely that engine was turning on to actually, it can charge the battery. So we've got regenerative to charge the battery. You don't plug anything in, you don't do anything. This is a no stress, no hassle hybrid system, meaning you just, you let the regenerative braking do most of the work, and occasionally the engine also will work to charge that battery. As it did, we're demanding a good, 24 degrees Celsius. We're demanding a good amount of heat, so the gasoline engine turned on to charge that battery. But even with the idling and the burning of gas while not moving and me blabbing, we're at now 4.6 liters per 100 kilometers in winter conditions. So this can be an incredibly fuel efficient vehicle. I think, this is going to be really good for your budget.
Yeah, and we let the motor turn a few times while we were filming, so I guess that's good. If I was always moving, I could have a better rates than that.
Well, maybe we'll do more tests to find that one out. Liking your reasonably sized truck?
I really love the drive. It goes very well. So for that, it's a good car to buy. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, you suggested it.
Yeah, definitely. The hybrid is good. And you told me yesterday that you tried to go up on our driveway. That was a lot of it was icy, and even if it's not a 4x4, you were able to go on our driveway, so that's perfect, I guess.
Handling's good. You don't find it too bumpy? The suspension's not too hard?
Not at all. It's so soft, and it's comfortable. I could stay here for many hours.
And you're saying that you do find, in regards to the handling, because it's lower to the ground, you kind of gives you the impression it can handle really well. But now you've driven it, and of course you haven't had me drive it in the corners yet, but how do you find the cornering?
I have nothing else to say than that. It just goes very well. It's fun to drive. It's comfortable. The ride is soft. I don't have nothing negative to say about the drive of that car.
Okay, good.
Just the plastic look in the interior, maybe.
Yeah, that's really bugging you, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't love that much, but at the same time, I know each make are trying to do texture in the car, 2 colors, so it's something that we see often, not only at Ford. So maybe that we're there. They try to make youngest people buy cars, so maybe that's why.
How did you find the acceleration?
It goes very well.
Do you find the vehicle, when we drive with the windows closed, do you find it quiet? Because some reviewers have said that the hybrid's really loud, and that it's kind of detracts from the quality of the vehicle. How did you find the driving noise?
It's quiet. We don't hear the outside that much, but maybe if they say, it's not that quiet, maybe it's because you hear the sound from the hybrid system.
Yeah,
that you're not normally you don't have that, so it's a new thing for you, and it will maybe bug you at the first time, but it's not that bad.
Did you find the engine sounded like a tractor? That's what some people have been saying, that when the 2.5 liter Atkinson engine, which has 191 combined horsepower and 155 pound-feet of torque from the engine, well, some say that when that engine kicks on, it sounds pretty tractory. You didn't find it sounds like a tractor inside?
Not at all. We just hear a little motor, but not a tractor sound.
Okay, great. let's see. Right now it's in hybrid mode. It's running. And that's the sound we're getting. These are the tires we were using. Some good Goodyears, Winter Command. Good tire. Now for the price, I also really like Dunlop Wintermax and of course Michelin. Now while Motor Trend got 30 miles per gallon with a mix of towing, city and highway, with towing we got 22 miles per gallon. Marie-Pierre, when we reset it, got 50 miles per gallon on her drive, and I got more, about 40 miles per gallon, because I am pretty heavy-footed. Now, do like and subscribe, because we are going to be talking about accessories like this top. Whether you go foldable, rollable, we'll be talking all about that, and we'll be covering the EcoBoost. So in the meantime, we wish you all more cars and more power. Thanks for watching.